Alright, Leafs won again on the road. Of course they did, it's the Capitals. That just feels... They need to get good again. Oh my god, finally! Go Canadian fire.
Country! Deal with it.
Neon smash!
Owen Grabowski.
GTFO. I got it from a bar. Leafs win 3-2 over the lowly Washington Capitals, which is just confusing to say. Last year I did an LFR, but most of it was going off on Canucks fans, and Canucks fans seem to really appreciate it. I basically said you need to stop complaining because your team's amazing and I'm a Leafs fan and would kill to have your team. I'm going to talk a bit about the game and then I'm going off in the Caps, which is going to be weird. First things first, thank you Philadelphia Flyers, which also feels really weird to say, because how good is James Van Riemsnipe right now? That wraparound goal, partially Michael Neuvirth not playing the puck properly, but also awesome. And his other goal is what we've seen mostly out of JVR so far, is he's just in the right place to get a goal like that. And I've seen a lot of Leaf fans chirping the Flyers like, thanks for JVR, we got him for a pylon. And oddly enough, most Flyers fans aren't responding with, well, yeah, you got a bust. They're just going, actually, no, we really like Luke Schenn. So I can't even chirp him. It just sounds like a good trade for both. But another Leaf who had a great night, +2, first career NHL goal and game-winning goal, Kobe Holza. They call him Kobe. And for as much grief as we've given Carlisle this season, and you know what, he still deserves it, but he also deserves credit for keeping Holzer in the lineup for this one. He had a weak first game of the season, got sent down, gets called back up, another weak game against the Hurricanes. In this one, you look great. And again, plus minus is a bogus stat, but he got a goal. And the Leafs could use a couple guys having solid defensive performances, so keep it up. And Leafs goaltending once again, this time Ben Scrivens. You don't need to be unbelievable, but give the Leafs a chance to win, and he did. Now, the Caps. This is what they look like. Now, like 2 years ago, was there a better team to be than the Washington Capitals? You got Alex Ovechkin looking sick. Nicholas Backstrom is an animal. Alex Semin is Alex Semin, but you know what to expect from him, and you know the good parts too. Mike Green starting to get pretty banged up, but he's still Mike Green. Varlamov, Neuvirth, and Holtby. You got 3 great goaltending prospects, young goalies that can, that's your future. You got a nice supporting cast too, the Brooks Likes of the world. And in the AHL and junior in Europe, just draft picks that they've had, one of the best farm systems in hockey probably. Now you run into Yaroslav Halak and the Montreal Canadiens, first round, and you get upset in a series that really you had no business losing. Ah, those darn hot goalies, but that'll happen to you. A decent start to the next season, not what you're used to, but not bad. They fire Bruce Boudreau and forget it. And you might be saying, well, Dale Hunter took him to the second round of the playoffs. They almost beat the Rangers. That's true. A lot of hot goaltending. It wasn't entirely that, but it was a lot of it. And now with basically the same team they've had for the last few years, plus Ribeiro minus Semin, they're terrible. Like, oh, you just wait for John Carlson, get a little older, develop more experience, they'll be sick. They stink. Through 10 games, they are last place in the NHL with 5 points. Calgary is 1 point up on them with 6, but they've played 3 fewer games. And a lot of people point and go, Ovechkin, Ovechkin. He needs to pick himself out of it. I mean, he's paid like a player who can do that. But one of the biggest no-brainers coming out of the lockout from a lineup perspective, to me, the teams are hurting for chemistry. They haven't been playing hockey, a lot of players, for like a few months. And if they have, it's been in Europe and not with the teammates they're used to. There are a few exceptions, the Oilers guys in the AHL. Ovechkin and Backstrom played on the same line in the KHL, and they looked really good. And they come back and Ovechkin's playing with Joey Crabbe and Jay Beagle. Getzlaf, Perry, Stamkos, St. Louis, like just names that pop out to you. Ovechkin, Backstrom, at least Ribeiro, for God's sake. What'd you get him for? And outside of Holtby's miraculous performance in last year's playoffs, the Caps goaltending situation is very weird. Because I wrote an article recently about how the Leafs have to have one of the lowest paid, if not the lowest paid goalie tandems in the NHL. And it's low. I can't remember. It's either second or third last, I think. $2.4 million combined. Reimer is 1.8. Scrivens, I think, is either just under or just above 600,000. Neuvirth and Holtby combined do not add up to Reimer's contract. They are under 1.8 mil. They are the lowest paid goalie tandem in the NHL, and it's not even close. Combined, they make less than Anders Lindback, who hasn't even played like 50 games yet. So I know you're hoping they'll get the job done, but you're certainly not paying them like a tandem that's going to get the job done. Anyway, the whole point of this rant is not really to rag on the Caps. I mean, again, Leafs. But as a Leafs fan, I've really enjoyed watching some of the good teams in the league. And since the Leafs haven't made the playoffs since 2004, that means watching a lot of Caps hockey. And so I'm just sitting here wondering what the hell happened to the Caps. So question of the game, oddly nothing to do with the Leafs, what the hell is wrong with the Caps? And also, I don't know about you, but I'm just kind of proud that I went through the whole video without mentioning Phil Kessel. Damn it! Well, speaking of which, go to the LeafsNation.com, which is where you probably already are, to watch this video. There are so many things we've posted in the last few days. A bunch of my videos in case you missed the last one or the last couple. There's a post-game blog after every game. There's a pre-game blog before every game. We also have a pro scout named Gus Katsaros who works for the site, and he actually, like with analysis and stuff, I know it's weird, looks at Phil Kessel's slump. We have a site named NHL Numbers that's associated with the LeafsNation.com, part of the Nations Network. You can already tell I'm doing this in one take. And they have a bunch of analysis in there. Cam Sharana is a great writer. We have other great writers. Justin Fisher did a prospect report. This is the only site you need. That's a lie. There's other good ones. But LeafsNation.com. Check us out. So that's all for this one. If you live in the Mississauga area, I will see you at the Mississauga Steelheads game tonight and the Leafs' next game in Winnipeg.